Hola, boa noite. Carl Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Let's get on with this. Without any further ado, we have a VIP in our midst this evening. Our host for tonight, who will welcome Senor Pato. Luis Pato himself is here with us, everybody. Frank and Rachel are here, wine ninjas, leading this tasting tonight. Gary and Linda, let me just put a slightly different view on things so we can see everybody. Andy in the dock in Leiria, Penny Albertella in Devon, UK. And let me just change that background so you can see everybody as we welcome onto the screen our VIP guest of the evening, Luis Pato, producer of the wine we're tasting tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Rachel and Frank.
Hello.
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 Senor Pato, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate
it. I am not hearing very well. Sorry. Just
we can wait. It's absolutely fine.
Okay. I try to use the iPad. That is better, maybe.
I've got two Luis Pato wines here. I didn't think I'd get the red that we were drinking or tasting tonight, so I got that just in case.
You are drinking Vinhas Velhas, not bad. 17 vintage.
2018. But I managed to find the right one that Rachel and Frank have selected.
Okay.
So we have the Touriga Nacional and Baga.
Good.
And this is the 2017 one. And we were just looking at the cork. Oops. Very nice.
Good. Yeah. Good. Great. So I don't know what do you want that I speak about our family company or about our wines, or what do you prefer to
Yes, please. That would be amazing, Mr. Pato.
Yes. And here you are. This is what we would love to hear about, is your reputation as the rebel wine grower. How cool is that?
Yeah. So why is rebel? Because I usually am against the power. Usually, for example, in 99, when the Portuguese Prime Minister, that now is the United Nations Secretary, that was was in Lisbon with me at my time. I was studying electricity. I was studying chemistry in Instituto Superior Técnico. And he gave a job for one of their boys, not him, someone. And I went out from Bairrada region. Of course, it's not possible to move from Bairrada, my vineyards, but it's possible to move on the label from Bairrada to Beiras. That was what I did before. So this is my rebel side, because I am a little bit a product from the end of 60s. End of 60s was in the university, especially in Portuguese university. I am not speaking about French university too. There were a big revolution in the universities, and I am a little bit a product from that. Of course, I am not from a leftist, but I am usually against the what is the normal. I try to be more upfront, more modern, more to do something that the other people will move for later. And my rebel side is expressed in the wine named Rebel, Pato Rebel. And in that case, what is my rebel side? Is if you taste wines from Baga were wines that were difficult to drink before 10 years, as in Bordeaux. The great wines from Bordeaux you can drink before 10 years. Bairrada is the same. We have the same Atlantic influence. So we have the same kind of thing. Of course, I am not using Cabernet. I used Cabernet some decades earlier, but not now. We have the same kind of tannins in the red wine, tannins from the Atlantic influence, tannins from not too much light days, because as you are close to the ocean, and you, some of you live in Portugal, you know that during the morning, even in the summer, you have some fog, some cloudies till 10 a.m. And this reduces the amount of light in our vineyards, because we are close to the ocean. We have the influence from the ocean. We have never too much sugar. So we have never over-ripeness in our grape varieties. We have never jammy in the taste of our wines, because we are from a cool climate region. And Baga was very difficult. In the old time, was fantastic for the people, because the people could keep the wine for a long time in their cellar. But now, the people buys to drink now, to drink immediately. but can buy from us old vintage, because we have old vintage to sell. For example, my daughter now is selling, not my daughter, us, of course, but is the idea of my daughter, my youngest daughter, is selling the 2011, some wines from 2011, 10 years old, and some wines from 2001, 20 years old, to show how the Baga wines age well. Okay, because I can tell you, Baga is fantastic if you age it for a long time. You say, he is playing us music. I understand. It's not the first time that someone thinks about that or in that way. For example, another advantage, one of the advantage from the wines from Baga or wines from us is, from Bairrada in general, is the capacity to age, as I told you. How it has the capacity to age? Because the tannins are very small. And as they are small, to polymerize the tannins needs a long time. That is the reason, because they achieve the ripeness, the mature sides with 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, even 40 years. And this is the process that happens in the bottle, inside the bottle, is a reductive process. That is the reason, because it's necessary, or must be necessary, to decant the wines from Baga before to be served, because they have antioxidant capacity. That is the reason, because they are very good to save your heart disease, to prevent your heart disease, because they reduce the cholesterol. They improve the good cholesterol. I have a good example of that. I have 50% of good cholesterol in the total cholesterol. Imagine, because I drink a lot of Baga, even old. But in Bairrada, there are not only the red wines. Of course, the idea in the old time was that the wine was red. This is typical. This is pure Baga. The Vinhas Velhas, Carl, the Vinhas Velhas is pure Baga, 100% Baga, 100% Baga. Yes, and this from chalky clay soil. In Bairrada, we have two kinds of soils: chalky clay and sandy soil. For Baga, the best is chalky clay. For Touriga, the best is sandy soil. Imagine, imagine. For the whites, we do also we work with 4 different white grape varieties. We use 2 red grape varieties, mainly Baga Touriga 2, Touriga for entry level, Baga for the top wines, and the whites we use 4 grape varieties. Maria Gomes, the first one is Maria Gomes, the yellow label, the first one.
Okay.
The yellow cap is Maria Gomes. Yes, it's a grape variety from Bairrada. It's a white grape variety, a little bit between Sauvignon and with a Muscat touch. Saying it's a very floral grape variety. But we have also the third bottle is Bical on chalky clay soil. Maria Gomes is on sandy soil. Bical is on chalky clay soil. Because Maria Gomes is better on sandy soil. Why? Because the sandy soil is good to keep the natural acidity. The chalky clay soil gives more fattiness to the wines. So the chalky clay soil are the wines more saying you that taste a lot of wines from the world, more Burgundian side, more chalky from chalky clay soil, fatter. Doesn't need wood. They are naturally fatter, but they lose the acidity with more easily. So the best is the best for Maria Gomes is sandy soil to keep the natural acidity, because we do the wines the most natural possible. The most natural possible. We don't chaptalize, we don't add sugar. We, as is usual in the North countries, we don't use acidity that is not usual in southern countries. So, because we can imagine that I am doing wines in Alentejo, or in California, or in Australia. I couldn't say that. You understand? Because the hot climates destroy one part of the acidity, is the normal. To get jammy wines, you lose the acidity. You need to add tartaric acid.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to acidify. We are in a region where it's not necessary to acidify or to chaptalize. Of course, our wines is difficult to overpass 12.5, 13 maximum for the whites, 12.5 maximum for the whites, yes, and this is our style, and our style is the result from our region, from the climate from our region. Sometimes I joke saying that we have a climate similar with Bordeaux, but better than Bordeaux. But I explain you why. It's not a question only to say, oh, we are better. No. We are better because you that live in Portugal, you know that our ocean is very cold, very cold, even in the summer. And for that reason, we have cool nights in the summer. In the summer, we can have 35 degrees centigrade in the day, during the day, and 15, 17 during the night. So this difference of temperature between the night and the day is very important to define the fruit flavors in our wines. That is the reason, because we can't get never jammy flavor, never, or jammy taste, because we never overpass the ripeness of the grapes, because the climate that we have. But we have that advantage to naturally we don't need to acidify, to chaptalize. And we do something that is also new, because I'm not an oldest, I am a winemaker. Of course, I am trained chemical engineer. I'm clear with you. But I use chemical knowledge to avoid the use of chemicals. I give you an example. I do wines, white wines, even white wines. I do a red wine. I do a sparkling wine. I do several white wines now for a new fashion, especially for for the American market. It's a huge market for us for this kind of wines. More natural, minimal intervention wines. And in these wines, we don't use sulfites. We didn't use sulfites because we don't use sulfites. Why? Because I discovered in 15 we have a sparkling wine. We have a sparkling wine from Baga that is named Vinha sparkling wine. That is a process that I invented in 2001. I'm joking. What I invented in 2001. In 1990, I started to do green harvest in my vineyards because all the wines come from our vineyards, and my goal is to do the best from our vineyards. And the best sometimes is not the most. We need to reduce the quantity to achieve a better quality, to soften the tannins, to improve the size of tannins in our climate. I am adopting to our climate. And in 90, I was doing green harvest, picking one part of the bunches down to put on soil in August, beginning of August. But in 2001, I thought, why we don't use these grape varieties, pick a little bit later at the end of August, and these bunches at that time are unripe for red wine, but they are ripe for sparkling wine. At that time, they are riper for sparkling wine than in Champagne 1 month later. Imagine, it's the same kind of product. And that means that what is ripeness? It depends. Ripeness for sparkling is totally different from ripeness for red wine. And I do from the same vineyard. I do from the same vineyard a sparkling wine, and I pick later, 1 month later, the left bunches less, only 30%. I leave only 30% for the second picking at Vinha to do a better red wine, a smoother and a better red wine. And in 2015, I started to do Vinha white from red. And how I did it? Instead to use coal, that is the normal. If you go to the books, to the technical books, they say, to take off the color, you need to use coal, or you need to use PVPP. PVPP is a nylon kind of product, to give you an idea. Now, I used a terrible chemical product named oxygen. Oxygen. Something that we breathe. So, I use the hyperoxygenation to destroy the color of the juice. And at the same time, as I use the hyperoxygenation to destroy the color, I destroyed everything that is oxidable. Okay, is La Palisse. La Palisse knowledge. And I did the sparkling wine, and some people later asking me, but you will have problems because you didn't use sulfur. No, I have no problems because I didn't use sulfur, because everything that could be oxidized was oxidized. You understand? So it's not necessary to use sulfur to avoid oxidation. But in the sparkling wine, there are another factor. The sparkling wine produces naturally a chemical product that results from the carbonic solved in water, that the chemical says that is carbonic acid, reacts with ethanol, the alcohol, and produces ester. Ethanol with the acid is named ester for the chemicals. That is a terrible fungicide. The terrible fungicide kills first the bacteria. So no more malolactic, no more, because the bacteria, the lactic bacteria was destroyed, and at the same time kills the yeast later. Only these are killed later. That is the reason, because in sparkling wine you have 0 dosage, you have 15 grams dosage, 12 grams dosage now for brew, 25 grams for dry or something else. So you join sugar and the wine does re-ferment, because this product kills the yeast and is not possible to re-ferment. So, but this is a chemical product, but natural, produced by the method, that results from the pressure, the carbonic pressure, solved in water. The wine is mainly water, as you know, and as the wine has alcohol, there are a small touch of alcohol that reacts with the carbonic acid, produce ester that kills the first bacteria, and after this. That is the reason, because the process allows to add sugar, to add in the dosage, that if you use in a still wine, it re-ferment. You understand?
This is an amazing life you have.
This is my rebel side. This is my rebel side, because this I learned by myself.
Yes.
Experimenting.
What amazing life. So you're in the chemistry lab every day, the chemistry lab of wine. Is that how your life is? Doing these experiments, the rebellious experiments all day long?
Sorry?
Are you being a rebel scientist and experimenting in your
a little bit a rebel scientist? Yes, it's true. It's true.
Amazing. Could you tell us more about the one we're tasting tonight? Because this is our entry level into this wonderful world of your wines. You've talked about the Baga and the great Portuguese grape that is Touriga Nacional. We'd love to taste some of this with you now, if we may.
Yeah. I imagine. But coming back a little bit to the Pato label, I'm joking with the clients. No, from the label, of course, was inspired in the picture from the label, picture from Einstein. Of course, I have less hair than Einstein had. The tongue is from I say that it's from Mick Jagger, another rebel, 2 rebels more, and the picture is from myself, the 3rd rebel. So, as I was telling you before, why it is named Pato Rebel? Pato is my name, Rebel, because Baga was is a grape variety that produced wines that needed 10 years to show well, and this wine shows immediately well, even without wood. Why? Because I joined 5% of white grapes from Bicao. That was traditional in the region. In Bairrada, in the Baga vineyards, was normal to have spread in the vineyard 1 to 5% of white grapes to pick together, because the people have the taste that the wine was better with this process. They didn't know why. I know why. Okay, and if you think, but this is like in Côte-Rôtie. Yes, but Côte-Rôtie is in the north of Côte-Rône. So the Syrah is less ripe, has the same problem as we have. It's a cooler climate than in southern Rhône. So it's necessary to use Viognier in their case to soften the tannins from the Syrah, from a greener, say less ripe Syrah. Okay, that is the reason because they use. But this is normal in not only in Côte-Rôtie. It's normal in Côte-Rôtie as it is normal in Italy or in Portugal. It's in the traditional countries. It's normal. But to speak you also about some the white grapes. Bairrada is, for me, to be clear with you, of course, the people believe that red is the white. Okay, but Bairrada can do its best for white and sparkling because we have fantastic climate for white and sparkling. Reds, we need to take a lot of care. We need to reduce the quantity very strongly to do a very good wine. For example, the wine that you are tasting, the Vinhas Velhas Red, I reduce 50%. I take off 50% to produce sparkling wine. I don't lose it to produce sparkling wine. And I leave only 50%. No more. I can't pick more. The yield can't overpass 3 tons per hectare. 3 tons per hectare. Okay? That is the reason because our most expensive wines are from Baga, because they cost much more. We need to take much more care. Baga is very sensitive to the rotiness, to the botrytis, and we can have some rain at the end of September. Now with the warming up less and less, happily. You see, sometimes the warming up is not so bad. It's not so bad. And for Baga is a little bit very good because we are on the limit of climate. And Baga is very sensitive to the rain because the skin is very thin. And on chalky clay soil can resist more against the rain, against the botrytis, because only imagine that we have rain during the harvest. What is the difference between sandy soil and chalky clay soil? On chalky clay soil, that is the reason because we have Baga on chalky clay soil. Chalky clay soil, only 1 week later, the water arrives to the roots. On sandy soil,
because it's
1 day later, the water arrives to the roots. And you need to understand that at that time, the vines are on hydric stress. So if there are some small amount of water, it drinks immediately the water and improves the size of the berries. They break and botrytis go inside and is not good for the wine. Okay, but now about white grapes. We work with 4 white grapes. 3 are the classics from Bairrada. Maria Gomes, Bical, and Cercial from Bairrada. Cercial from Bairrada is related with Cercial from Madeira. There are some people that says that is a natural cross of Madeira Cercial with Malvasia. Okay. I agree, but it's different from Madeira or from Down and Douro. Our Cercial is different. And we have another one. So that is, we have Maria Gomes, Bical, and Cercial. These are the 3 classics. But I have another one that is not classic. Was made in the middle of the 50s in a research station in Alcobaça. Is named Cercialinho. Cercialinho is an artificial cross of Madeira Cercial with Alvarinho. That is the reason of the name. Cercial plus Inho from Alvarinho. Cercialinho. Okay? Yep. And is very acidic. Is my secret in Vinhas Velhas white. If you buy Vinhas Velhas white, yes. If you buy Vinhas Velhas white, Vinhas Velhas white is a wine that can age for more than 20 years. I'm speaking about a white wine.
Wow.
If you want, you can taste 91 vintage. That was my second vintage of this wine. To give you an idea, this vintage 91 vintage, put my foot in a now closed restaurant in Basque Country named Mugaritz. We sold 2 Mugarits, several wines, because we sold 91 Vinhas Velhas white. So this is, I believe that this is a way to give you an idea of the aging capacity, even for the whites, okay?
Wow.
And at that time, it's not written on the back label, but was the Cercialinho that kept the wine for so long time, because it's not Maria Gomes that can age for so long time. Was Cercialinho with Bical and Cercial that supplied the aging capacity for this wine. It is a little bit golden color because it was fermented in new French oak casks, because I don't use barrels, I use casks. At that time, 650 liters capacity, because I have a problem, you know. I am the owner and the winemaker. And the winemaker tells me, you need to use barrels to have more oakiness in the wine. But the owner says, no, it's too expensive. And I don't like to do fake with my wine. My wine is from grapes, not from the wood. Okay, you understand? Understand? So, and now to give you an idea, I use for reds, I use French oak. That is more expensive, but is more the quality is more regular. And I am not expert in wood. I am expert in wine, not in wood. But for the whites, what I am using now, I am using, or in the past I used French oak. Now I am using what? Chestnut.
Oh.
White chestnut. Once again, the chemical guy working. Because chestnut, now the chemical guy and the owner, okay? Chestnut costs half price than the oak. The owner is the owner speaking.
Yeah.
Chestnut, the chemical side, because chestnut has more porosity than oak. So during the fermentation of the wine in the woods, there are more exchange of oxygen, air, saying air in this case, between the wine in fermentation and the outside of the cask. And this is very important for what? To prevent the oxidation of the wine later. The wine can resist more time again to turn gold in color because there are oxygen supply. The same idea that I told you about the sparkling wine. You remember that I turned pink sparkling wine in white with hyperoxygenation. In this case, it's a little bit the same idea. Not hyperoxygenation, but small, not microoxygenation. The porosity of the chestnut is bigger than the porosity. Neil. I use new French oak for the reds, only for the reds, because for the reds I need, as the Bordeaux people needs, I need a little bit tannins from the wood to combine to polymerize the tannins from the wine, to turn them soft. That is the reason because you find new oak in Bordeaux, not new oak in Burgundy. Oh, maybe you find some new oak in Burgundy, but this is for some palates, more. Okay. And in reds I use oak, white, because for the reds the chestnut is not good. Now, chestnut is good, but it's not enough good, because there are no tannins in chestnut to polymerize the tannins from the wine, to soften the wine from Baga, okay? So, technically, for the whites, chestnut is better. For the reds, must be oak. No, for Baga, I'm so sorry, but never American oak. I'm so sorry, because it turns to no, because the Baga produce wines very elegant, and if you put American oak, use the American oak, no problem. But if it is new, it dominates immediately the aromas from the wine. So it's not proper. It's good for Cabernet, but not good for Baga. Okay, because Baga is more Nebbiolo-like, more Pinot Noir-like, more Pinot Noir-like than Cabernet. Cabernet needs to be softened with the complete with the vanilla and coconut from the Blancata, oak, the American oak. But you see, I am not. I have no enologist because if I had enologists, I couldn't improve as I improved. Yes. Imagine that I was saying to enologists, you need to do the hyperoxygenation of the juice for sparkling wine. And you need to understand that I am speaking about Portuguese enologists, not about Latin. It's not a question to be Portuguese. Latin enologists, the guys that study wine with the French books. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was saying to me, you are crazy. Oxygen is to turn volatile, the wine volatile. No, it's not true. It depends, of course. Can turn, but it depends. But this is a reason, because to show you that I am a rebel. I don't need the enologists, because if I had enologists, I need to I couldn't do what I do, because I do what I want. Maybe you don't know, but I'm so crazy, so rebel, so strange, that when I have a new grandchild born, to celebrate him, I do a special wine. Usually a special wine not written on the books. That Beautiful. Is the funny thing. The first grandson, I did a dessert wine, but early picked from Baga, but early picked. It's the same thing as the same juice as I use for the sparkling, but I concentrate the juice, freezing it. So I do ice wine homemade. Imagine, ice wine homemade. I freeze it to take off the water to improve the concentration, but I keep the acidity. After I ferment in used wood till 10 degrees. 10 degrees. At 10 degrees, I interrupt the fermentation, adding sulfur and putting in the cool chamber to interrupt the fermentation. And the wine keeps high acidity and high amount of sugar. Okay? Because I concentrate previously with cryo extraction. And this was the wine that I did for my first grandson. The second grandson, the parents gave him the name Fernão. And one of my family names is Pires. And in Portugal, there are a grape variety named Fernão Pires. That is the same grape variety that here is named Maria Gomes. It's the same grape variety. And I did a joke. I did a wine from Fernão Pires, a white grape, to celebrate the birthday from Fernão, from his grandfather, Pires. But the wine is not white, it's a red wine. It's a red wine made from white grapes. Okay? Okay? I joined 5%, 6% of red skins to paint. Imagine, enologists will say, this is a faulty white wine. You understand? This is a red wine. Now my daughter gives another name, is Nerd Duck, but it's for the for the people around 30, 40 years. Not for us, not for us. For us, for me. Well, I do the wine, but okay. The third grandchild was a granddaughter. And granddaughter, what I did orange wine. The name from her is Madalena, and I did the orange from Madalena. But I did the orange wine. You think, you did the orange wine with Maria Gomes? No. I did the orange wine with Baga. I turned Baga white, the juice of Baga white, with hyperoxygenation. But after, I joined skins from Maria Gomes. And I fermented white juice from Baga with the white skins from Maria Gomes. And it turned orange. Okay. It's not a Georgian copy as the other people does. Okay. The next one was grandson again. And I did dessert wine. It's a little bit similar with the first one. I'm clear with you, but instead to be pink, is white, and is the pan because it's from Vinha Pan, pan do João, pan from John. João is his name. The
fifth now.
The next one is the fifth one was another granddaughter, and what I did, a white wine without no exception grapes, no acidification, no chaptalization, no addition of sugar, of course, no sulfur. These were from the vineyard, and no filtration, nothing. Of course, I did hyperoxygenation to avoid the use of sulfur, even in a still white wine. And this is the Rita. Rita is her name. The next grandchild that is to be born is a granddaughter. Again, I don't know the name, but I know which wine I will do. because I'm not a typical Portuguese. I planified things to do at the right time, at harvest time. I think the things 9 months before, as the child. Understand? So this will be a sweet sparkling wine, a natural sweet sparkling wine from Cercialinho. What I will do? I will pick the Cercialinho with 13% alcohol, because Cercialinho, even with 13% potential alcohol, keeps 10 grams of total 10 grams per liter of tartaric acid. The expression in tartaric acid, that means around 7 in sulfuric acid, say French. That is strength. Okay. Why not? I can do a special one for you. No problem, Neil.
Is there a grape?
No problem, Neil. So, and this will be a sparkling wine that I will do hyperoxygenation to stabilize the wine. I will bottle the wine when it will achieve 9 degrees, and the left after it will ferment 1 degree. That means around 1 degree and a half. That means around 20 grams of sugar that comes from the vineyard, not added, like in champagne method. Okay, is one fermentation sparkling wine, and after I will interrupt the fermentation of the sparkling, because if I don't interrupt the fermentation of the sparkling, the bottles broke. I interrupt the fermentation with what? Cool. I put in the cool chamber at 5 degrees plus. I have experience of that. Pay attention. And the pressure added with the temperature, the low temperature, interrupt the fermentation, and never more the fermentation restarts, as I told you before, because the product that is produced inside the bottle by the process. But in this case, will be a sweet white sparkling made with hyperoxygenation. This is usual in champagne too, but they don't say. And with residual sugar and only one fermentation. No champagne method. A rural method from south of France. The oldest method. So one fermentation is the most natural possible. No sulfur, nothing. Okay. Okay. That is the reason because I do the hyperoxygenation before. But you see, I am preparing the wine to celebrate the birthday from my next granddaughter. Okay.
I want to ask, who will be born first, the kid or the wine?
At the same time, because it's expected to be in September.
Oh.
Now she will be born before the wine, because the wine will be made in middle of September, fermentation, put inside the bottle, maybe at the end of September. Okay. They will be side by side. Okay.
Very nice.
But this you see, this is my rebel side. It's not necessary to explain you more about my rebel side. Okay. Because this is not possible if we depend from a winemaker, an enologist, okay? Because they have the pre-fermented ideas, what they learned in the books, but I am learning, trying, experimenting, of course, with some knowledge by the training, of course. Of course, I don't took risk. I say that I can take the risk because I am donor. I am donor, but I can't do a mistake because I am the owner too. Okay, the winemaker can do a mistake because I am donor too. So is what we can. I believe that this is a good example of to show you that about my diversity on the tradition, because my tradition is over the traditional grape varieties that we use in our vineyards. We don't buy grapes, so we can say that we are a wine grower. Okay, truly wine grower. And now we are moving one part of our production more and more because the American market, mainly because the American market, not only the American market, also the Danish market, also a lot of other ones. South Korean market, imagine, by influence of American market, of course, are enjoying this natural side of the wines, and we are trying to do the most natural. To give you an idea, I'm trying to move from the copper sulfate spraying to ozone use. Ozone is produced from oxygen from the air and turns oxygen to the air again. Nothing left in the environment. Okay, greener than this one is more difficult. It's very difficult.
Is that what's normally sprayed then? Is copper sulfate?
Sorry?
Is that the normal spray on grapes, copper sulfate?
Yes. Louis Bordelais, I say the French. Louis Bordelais is normal. The organic, biodynamic way to treat the vineyards.
Yeah.
You understand? But I am trying to do a step, a jump to this process. But I need to try. I need to take the risk, to get the risk, you know.
Yes.
But it's for that I like to do.
Senor Pato,
Yes.
you seem to have become the Leonardo da Vinci of the wine world, I think.
Yes.
I try, but you know, I am turning old. Now, there are something that you need to understand. With my age, to prove that I keep my youth, I need to do something that the other people never thought about.
Yes.
And have the capacity to be free, to do what I want. To do what I can do, not what I want, of course, what I can do. Because when I think this or that, I say, this I can't do, that I can do. And I follow the other way. Because that is the reason, because I planify what I do. I'm a strange guy for Portuguese, as you know. but in this case, I have an advantage. My books were mainly British and American. Americans for the technology, for engineering, British for the chemistry, of course. And this changed my mind. I am more pragmatic, I planify more than if I have the French school. You understand what I mean? Okay. I don't play music. Sometimes when I go to visit some chateau from my friends, of course, with my friends, they don't speak music to me. No? They don't play music to me. But with the people that is receiving us in the winery or so, they play so much music. I give you an example. And this was with the export manager from a top chateau. I was looking the graphic from the temperature controlled fermentation, because it was going up, down, in front of the wooden vat from the chateau. And I asked him, "Do you control temperature?" "No, we do as it is traditional." Music, violin. This is the kind of thing that for my training I can say to anyone. When I say this, is because I believe in that, is because I did that. For example, another reason, the evolution of my use of less and less sulfur in the wine. Even in the red wine that you are tasting, I use, during the fermentation, I don't use sulfur. Of course, if I have an enologist, the guy was saying, no, I don't take the risk. Yes, I take the risk because I am donor, as I told you. I have no risk. If the grapes arrive safe, healthy, no problem. Because I control temperature at 25 degrees for the red. So it's not necessary to add sulfur. Because to give you an idea, to improve the amount of yeast, because I use only natural yeast that come with the bunches from the vineyard, I do oxidation, not hyperoxidation, but an oxidation of the juice to improve the amount of yeast to guarantee that fermentation finished correctly. So that means that the fermentation is radiative, no oxidative. So process of oxidation. But I have an advantage because as I don't use sulfites, the malolactic happens immediately after the fermentation. So after in October, I have the wines ready. And at that time, after the malolactic, I add 40 milligrams of sulfur. But this turns total 45 milligrams. Behind the 70, that is the minimum for organic wines.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I don't do organic wines, but I do modern organically.
Yeah, fascinating.
But it's a knowledge question, you understand? It's a knowledge question. And experience. We are learning more and we apply. I use your way, step by step. Step by step. Okay? I'm so sorry I speak too much, but I'm not hearing very well your question.
Mr. Pato, I have a question. This particular wine that we're drinking, it's a blend of Baga and Touriga Nacional. Both are very tannic. How did you manage to blend this together? Because traditionally with Touriga Nacional, you've got Touriga Francia and Tinto Roriz. These are the three blends that are used. How did you manage to put two tannic blends together?
So the Touriga Nacional works in this blend as the Merlot works in Bordeaux.
Okay.
To soften the Baga tannins. And of course, I destem the Baga and the Touriga Nacional. But what is the difference? Many difference between the Touriga Nacional tannins and the Baga tannins in Bairrada. The Touriga Nacional tannins are softer, are much softer, are longer than the tannins from Baga. That is the reason because Touriga shows always a strong color. But this color falls down. With Baga, never falls down because Baga has less color. And the tannins from Baga are shorter than the tannins from the Touriga Nacional. And as the tannins from Touriga Nacional are longer, are softer, soften the Baga. This wine has no oak, only was kept in stainless steel. No oak.
Okay.
No oak. And I control temperature at low, at 25 degrees. I destem. I use, in this case, I use a fermentation process in stainless steel. I use two kind of fermenters. One is a rotomatic rotator that extracts less tannins and keeps more fruitiness, more flavor in the wine. Okay? And another one that is an Italian way that extracts also less tannins and improve the fruitiness of the grapes. Because you know, a wine, when you use woods, you destroy the primary flavors. And in this case, I want to show the primary flavors, not the secondary flavors. Of course, with age, it's a wine that can age for 20 years or 25 years. The primary flavors disappear after 3 years, 4 years, start to disappear. Change from the primers to the fruitiness to the more complexity. And at that time, it's funny, this is important for you, at that time, the Baga comes over the Touriga Nacional. At the beginning, you feel more Touriga Nacional. With age, you feel more Baga. It's funny.
Okay. Very, very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You are invited to visit. You are invited to visit us when you want. After this kind of things to pass a little bit. I believe that in May, June, July, very good times to visit our winery. We have good conditions to receive the people. If it is even for meals, we don't do meals there, but we have a good restaurant with that is a good caterer from the best roasted surfing pig from Bairrada. Is our supplier, is our caterer. So, and we have a lot of sparkling wine to drink with. even old one, even from 2010 or from 92 or so. We have very good conditions to receive the people, and you can get new experience because in the winery you can say, it's possible to drink wine from 95. Yes, why not? We pick from the cellar, and I have a huge cellar, 10,500 bottles, and I can drink every bottle, every one.
There, boys.
It's not possible to drink all of these bottles. Okay.
Is this the vineyard and production facility at Amoreira de Gandra? Is that what you? Okay.
Now you put on Google Maps, Adega Luis Pato Winery.
Yeah.
On my Tesla, before was always Luis Pato Winery. Now is Adega Luis Pato. Finally. You see. I use electric cars, because I and we have today. I didn't pay any energy. Was the solar, and I offered to the Chinese, the owners from our electric company, energy, because I was producing more than I was using.
Very nice.
And it's funny. I was the panels were Chinese, and I was giving energy to a company that is also Chinese.
Yeah.
So it's the cycle of the money, always to China.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And maybe the wines will end up there as well one day. Probably there already, right?
Sorry?
Your wines are in China as well? The wine is exported to China as well, I suspect.
Yes. But for China, I want to sell. I sell only the most expensive. Because you know, Asians don't think as us.
Yeah.
Okay, and they buy price. Yeah. I give you an example. Not from China. I have a client in Taiwan. Yes, in China. They don't say that they are China. In Taiwan restaurant, and my most expensive wine is bought there by a Cambodian. Cambodian that arrives there and asks the waiter which is the most expensive. This one, and buys that one. This is Asia.
Yeah.
Yes. You know. Special Chinese. I go to Macau and I see shops that so expensive. It's for me strange, but okay. It's very good for the luxury
yes,
products. So we need, and China, or you sell very cheap, or you sell more expensive. And to create a brand, you need to gain a niche market. This niche market must be from over, not from down.
It's right.
I think.
That's a good way.
Mr. Pato, I have to confess, we picked this particular wine for this show because we were walking around the grocery store and it fit our budget. So this was the only wine of yours that fit our budget. So we decided to get this wine. Is this your only wine for poor people, or do you have any other poor people wine?
It depends. It depends the size of the glass.
We have
Frank, pay attention. Our wines are not have never high alcohol, so you can drink even more glasses, even smaller ones, but more glasses. But needs to be in a bigger glass to show and to explore the. For example, if you go there, we can do an expense that is open an old bottle, from 2000 vintage, to taste the wine immediately after, to be open, decorked, and half an hour or 1 hour later, and you will find the huge difference, because it improves with the decantation. And this is because it needs to be aerated. It has an antioxidant capacity, what I explained. That is the reason because I sell to China, because I explained to them that is very good for the body. And if you go to China, you see that they drink only red wine. Mainly, they join Coca-Cola, I know. But they buy Petrus because it is most expensive, or Lafitte, and they join Coca-Cola because they don't like the tannins. They like more sweetness. Okay. So I have no problems that they join Coca-Cola with my wine if they buy the most expensive. No problem.
There's
A French producer wouldn't say that, I don't think.
Frank, there's a huge range. We went there on Tuesday, and there was a range from between €5 a bottle to €250 a bottle.
Yes, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember.
We have the wine list.
I have not the price list in my head. I don't know.
We drank 4 wines, and we bought 3 different wines, 6 bottles, and very good value, and beautiful wine, beautiful people.
No, Portuguese wines are in general very good price value.
I will never come to your adega with my Chinese passport.
No problem. We have a special wine for Chinese. You know, we have a wine with a golden 8.
Oh yes, okay. Prosperity.
See, 8 and golden.
Yeah.
With a red back.
You're a psychologist. You're a chemical engineer and a psychologist, I think.
No, I visit a lot Macau.
Yeah, okay. So
a lot of times Macau.
You only produce 300 bottles of that wine a year, don't you?
Yes.
300 bottles a year.
Yes. It's true.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the prices of Burgundian wines now are going up because the Chinese discovered that the quantities are thinner than in Bordeaux, in the big chateaus in Bordeaux. Only a few can buy from this domain. From chateau, a lot of people can buy, but from the domain, 3,000 bottles, only a few can buy. So this is very important for them, you know.
Yes, indeed. Senor Pato, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you to this long speech from a rebel.
Thank you.
We feel you, and I'm really grateful. And muito obrigado.
Thank you.
And we'll come to see you in your vineyard. So boa noite, muito obrigado. Até logo. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, folks.
That was amazing.
That was
What a find, eh?
Thank you, Leona. Apparently, it was your idea.
Whose idea?
Leona.
Yes.
I walked in and spat it out.
Leona, excellent. Thank you so much. And yeah, the whole journey from you visiting to having him on here tonight was amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Muito obrigado from Anna. What amazing what now Pato has. Loved him. Absolutely. Fantastic evening. Long live the rebel. Absolutely. We all see a little bit of ourselves in there, don't we? Mr. Pato is a very wise man. I'm loving this conversation. And Coca-Cola and his best wines. I mean, he took that very well, didn't he? That's a crime, Emil. Incroyable. Incredible. Wonderful night. Wonderful night. So thank you very much between you, Frank and Rachel and the Doc and Leona, for pulling that off, putting it together.
Let me just say, we've listened to Senor Pato speak for the whole hour, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And there were at least 2 subjects that he covered on Tuesday with us that he didn't cover tonight.
Yeah.
So
and he didn't really talk about the wine we're drinking either, did he? So we'll have to have him back at some point. So before we go, we better do that, hadn't we? Frank and Rachel, lead us through the score. Absolutely.
Okay, let me start. I am giving this one 4.5.
Okay, Frank.
I don't know. I want to know what the Chinese are drinking, but this one's like I don't know. It's that's why I was asking him. It was quite tannic the first time when we got this wine. It tasted quite tannic. The combination did. For me, it's a 3.75. Good thing he's not online right now. He would have shot me.
I don't know about that. I think he'd be cool about that, because hearing what he said about his wines and his approach and where this is positioned, that perhaps isn't unfair, and he may well take that on the chin. Over to Leria, because you're all loved up with the experience of going to the vineyard. How are you scoring this?
So we didn't taste this wine when we were there. We tasted a number of other wines. We tasted a Baga Spumante, which is pale pink in color, very nice. I'm not a sparkling wine person.
Can I just say, Andy was posh and he spat. I'm common and I swallowed.
I was driving. He staggered out. But anyway.
Okay, that's your sex life covered.
Yeah. Wine. Let's talk about wine again for a minute.
Anyway, so we had the Baga Touriga Nacional there cost €5. We bought some others, the most expensive of which was about 20, and the average was 10. We had 6 bottles for €60, which is very good at a winery.
Yes, absolutely.
So this doesn't taste as good as any of those that we drank. I quite like it, and I'm going 4.2.
4.2. Okay, Leona, and thank you for that insight into your respective approaches.
I would probably say a 4 compared to the other wines that we drank there. Okay.
Spoiled, you see, by the personal experience.
I get it, absolutely get it. Over to Alvazra.
You go first. Well, you know my method now for like scoring wine. It's got to be more encompassing. So you got to take in the production and everything, and the company. And he's developed some great techniques there for not using sulfur in the wine. So I've got to give him extra marks for that.
Yeah.
And when I opened this one, I to be honest, I didn't really like it at all. I thought I'm going to struggle with this one. But it again, it's sat for an hour, and what a different wine it is. It's completely different. So I'm going to go 4.5.
4.5. Linda, can we ask you first, obviously, how many glasses?
4.
Look at- I mean, to be fair, we were waiting, weren't we? We thought he might lead us in a tasting, and then it was 10 past, and then it was 20 past, and then it was half past. Like I see people just pouring a glass and just quaffing it, and you're four in there, Linda. What's your score?
Well, again, when we first opened it, I wasn't too keen. It was a bit sharp, a bit dry, but it's mellowed
It's really smooth.
an awful lot over the past hour or so. I'd probably, from the taste, I probably would have given it 4.25, but I'm going to put the score at 4.5 because it doesn't have any sulfates. And for me, not having sulfates in wine is good because of my arthritis.
Yes.
So,
Wow, thank you very much, Alvarez. But Penny, did you get your hands on this?
I've been trying to work out what was different about mine. I can't work out what's different. It's the same year, same
Just the
grade.
label. Yeah.
It's the label, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you other guys, when I first opened it, it was a bit, I'm not sure I'm going to like this one, but it's been sitting there for quite a long time. I dared take a sip, and it has softened right down.
Yes.
I really like it because I don't like too many tannins. I don't like sulfates, like you, Linda. And actually, you know, I love a rebel anyway. So always give me a rebel any day of the week. No matter what they're rebelling about. So, and I think his approach is brilliant, you know, in terms of the biodiversity and actually going further than the organic approach as well. So I'm going to go a 4.75.
Whoa. Excellent. Incredible. Have we all got 2019?
2017.
Yeah.
No, we've got 2017.
Interesting. Okay.
2016 from the vineyard.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Well, I've got the 19 myself here, and I thought that was a lovely touch. And who was it who mentioned? Was it you, Rachel, who loved the cork?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
My cork's downstairs. I wonder if I've got that on mine.
I mean, the styling. The I think it might be his daughter, but the rebel dad, the stylish daughters. I mean, we went up there. They're very progressive. When I first started doing a Good Morning Portugal show, I got this mystery kind of email. Do you want to come to our vineyard and help pick grapes? And they were having like this 80s neon themed grape picking. And we were really fish out of water because there's many Portuguese people there. But we were welcomed anyway. We picked grapes there. And they might be in this. That's the interesting thing, because the idea was to go back the year later and to try it. But it was a beautiful, beautiful day out. So generous. I think you got a sense of that, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah. We actually saw him, and I just said, "Oh, can we take a photograph?" And he said, "Oh, I'll be back in a minute." It's about half an hour later, wasn't it? And then he joined us, and then the long spiel, we videoed it, and he took photographs. Really, really
lovely.
Yeah, amazing. Wait, did he go off and put his trousers on or something like that? I mean, they're so relaxed there, aren't they?
They're so casual. He is so casual, yeah.
Incredible fella. And, you know, that's my marking is like, you know, what's the experience with the wine? And I think it would taste different if you had it on site there. But what I've learned tonight is that this is, and I couldn't get it from my Garrafaria. The only one I could find was the one that seemed to have a little bit more cred to it, which is this white one. And I said to the guy in the Garrafaria, you know, where can I get this now? And he said, oh, yeah, they'll have it in the supermarket. And he looked it up online. He said, yeah, get down to Continent. They've got it there. And I think they're so good at satisfying different markets, aren't they? The Chinese one that has 8 on it and is red and golden. It's like they've thought about it, haven't they? They've really. The only thing missing from that is a few goldfish to go on there. You're the luckiest Chinese wine in the market.
And a little biscuity
That
thing.
one is 250 euros a bottle. They only make 300 odd bottles a year.
Yeah.
I think that one is pure Baga.
Yeah.
They're doing fantastic things there. I'm not going to spoil his next talk, but they're just some superb stuff. Absolutely superb.
I mean, do the math on that, you know, and it makes sense, doesn't it, to put a limited edition on it, to have the Chinese fighting over it, only to mix it with Coke in the end.
They can't make more than that. It's a single vineyard.
Okay.
And the level of production is very low. I'm trying to remember why, but I can't. But they literally, that's all they can make of that wine.
But that said, Andy, isn't it amazing that they bother to make wine for a £5 a bottle? Given that that's the case, isn't it lovely that it still remains accessible? And I think that's what this wine is about. This because he mentioned it, didn't he? He's like, people want wine they can drink now, and this wine. This is a Neil Perkins one, isn't it? Buy it now at a £5 and put it down for 10 years, and that is going to be
30 years. He mentioned
30 years. 30. So it's like here's your wine, £5 a bottle. I think it cost me $7.99 at the supermarket, but I'm thinking that's what's going on. If you want it now, have it now. It's going to be a little bit harsh. But it's going to be what you love. It's going to be the Baga Touriga Nacional. You're going to drink it now, and you're going to share in the vibes of the legend. And on that basis, I'm a 4.5 with this. But I would say buy it now and lay it down. That's going to be an amazing investment. Go on, Gareth.
So at that price, you could lay down 2 cases a year and not notice it.
Yeah.
That's right.
It'll sting.
And what a rubbish grandparent am I? I haven't made any wine for my grandchildren.
Yeah, he put us to shame there, didn't he?
Has anybody noticed?
What I liked about him is he owns it. He's the kind of guy that whatever he's doing, he owns it. He's not bullshitting you. He's basically telling you that, listen, I know my market. I know exactly what I'm doing. This is what I specialize in. I do both. I own this adega, and at the same time, I'm the winemaker as well. So I have to balance both. So at no time you hear the posh works for me. This does not work for me. If I see a market where I can make that extra margin, and they don't understand the grape or the varietal, but they understand the value, then I'll sell it based on the value. And it was good. I really like that about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we arrived, he was arguing with EDP about his solar installation. So obviously things they switched it on today, but they've got these 2 huge arrays of solar panels, which double up as shades for the cars of the visitors. But this was their second one. They're arguing with EDP about the something or other, and right.
He gets a last laugh, doesn't he? You can tell last laugh for that. And that's absolutely right, Frank. This living legend thing, take it or leave it. He's not in any way pretentious. He's his own man. He's somebody you can, like a real elder who you want to look up to and say, that's how to do it. Uncompromising, his own man. He's earned it, hasn't he, through his career and through his whole.
The elder who drops the line that he drives a Tesla. That's the kind of elder.
Yeah.
Has anybody noticed with this one, right? Because he said he doesn't use oak barrels, and I've noticed immediately that the total, almost total absence of anything woody, which for you, Penny, you don't like woody sort of reds, do you? So that's a big bonus, really. And I thought I'd missed that. I thought I would miss that, but actually I don't in this one. It's nice. It's a good balance.
He's drinking.
It is, and he's definitely a Leonardo, isn't he? A Leonardo of the wine world, inventive, crazy.
It's so refreshing as well to hear a winemaker actually say that the oak can overpower the grape, because for me that's the case. That sometimes all you're tasting is oak and tannin and what have you. Maybe I'm a wuss, I don't know, but I like my wine just without all that other stuff, just a little bit lighter, and so it's nice to hear that from a maker as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. Maxine's I think is really good. Basic red wine, very good, not expensive, and honest wine. And the other thing to say about him is, like, I'm a rebel. I'm not very Portuguese, taking the piss out of the French, and then gets an email from a load of unknowns as expats doing a wine show. He rocks up at 1 minute to 9, and he's just like looking into the iPad, like listening to. I mean, the guy could quite easily be massively pretentious, couldn't he? But
Yeah.
A legend, I think.
as well as being, as cool and awesome and rebellious as he is, totally down to earth and responding to an invitation like that. I don't think we'd get that from a Bordeaux producer. Do you?
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you would have someone the entire time with warm cheese in their mouth.
Or wondering whether to spit or swallow. Obviously, I get a buzz out of Woody. Says Doug. Shame you're not on screen. Maybe you'll join us for the lock-in, and you too, Neil. One real question, guys. Sagresh, it's a question that won't go away. Well, with it, Sagresh for me. And yeah, Neil sums it up there in 6 words. Is it the legend that is Luis Pato? Absolutely. What a great point to end on there. Great job, ninjas, tonight. Fantastic team effort. Oh,
Yeah, well done.
next week. Before we go, I've got a couple of. So I'm trying to regain my reputation as somebody who just leaves it to the last minute. I think.
Yeah, and gives
Like
your secretary what do you call it?
All right. All right. Maybe it'll never happen, but my intentions are good. I can tell you. Congrats on the great guest. See you in the man cave tomorrow. Absolutely, where we're talking about we're sexy and you know it. But look, this is one option, and maybe we should decide now. This is from the Messias producer in Bairrada. And what I liked about that, look at that, Cabernet Sauvignon from the Bairrada region. So we stay in the region, but we're looking at a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a big producer. You should be able to get that in Portugal. The other one, Ortigão. I live on Rua de Ortigão. This is at the end of my street. This logo. And
I like this one, man. This one's got a sexy label.
So you want to go? You want to go with the queue?
It's all about the market.
Whatever the group decides.
What
Okay.
type of grape is that, Carl? The black one there.
That is let's have a look. Created from noble grape varieties, obviously. Look, Baga and Touriga Nacional.
Now, I'm just being objective here. We've never done a Cabernet Sauvignon, to my knowledge, so maybe that'd be a good one.
That's why I picked it. And the Messias.pt, you should be able to find that, and that'll be a little.
Let's do this one then.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit of a special interest, won't it? Cabernet Sauvignon in Bairrada. Okay, so let's
see how that compares to the French versions and stuff. See how that levels up.
Well, there it is. There it is then, and I'll get that to the secretary and hopefully redeem my reputation. All right, fantastic, great job tonight. What a fabulous evening. The legendary stuff, right? I mean, we can't make a wine for our grandchildren necessarily, but we can tell our grandchildren that we met Luis Pato. That's a good second best, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, take care, folks, and bye for now. We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Hi, everybody.